Good morning, esteemed chairperson, faculty members, and dear participants. It is an honor to welcome you all to the International Symposium on Social, Ethical, and Legal Aspects of Generative AI, ISGAI 2024, hosted by IIMT Bhubaneswar. This symposium aims to explore the profound impact of generative AI on society, ethics, and law, with thoughtful researchers across the globe. Post-presentation, the accepted papers will get an opportunity to publish in the book entitled Social, Ethical, and Legal Aspects of Generative AI, Tools, Techniques, and Systems, edited by Professor Dr. Shrikant Patnaik, Professor Jair Minoru Abe, Professor Dr. Kazumi Nakamatsu, and Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, under the Springer book series, Studies in Computational Intelligence. Now let me share the PPT with you all. To give you an overview of the agenda for today, we will begin with a welcome address. Then Professor Dr. Pramod Kumar Prushti, Principal IIMT Bhubaneswar, Odisha, will give you an overview about our institute. Then the introductory remark from our esteemed chairperson, followed by an insightful technical session featuring innovative research presentations on AI. We will conclude with a reflection on the day's discussion and a closing remark from our technical session chair. Let's start with the welcome address. I have the honor of introducing our editors and speaker for the today. First on, we have Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, Director and UNESCO Chairperson at National University of La Plata, Argentina. Francisco Vigliarolo is a full-time professor of regional economics at Catholic University of La Plata and social sciences, specialization in economic sociology, postdoctorate in economics, and master in sustainable development. He is also an associate investigator of the CESOT, Centro de Study of Sociology of Work of the University of Buenos Aires. At the Universidad Nacional de La Plata, he is chair-holder of UNESCO Chair in Economic System and Human Rights. He founded with almost 20 universities all over the world. From 2008 to 2015, he worked at the University of San Martin, where he promoted and designed the first master course financed completely with European funds in Argentina in democracy and financial crisis of 2001. Before moving from Italy to Argentina in order to study social responses to the financial crisis of 2001, he worked at the University of Ferrara, where he was professor of social economics and methodology and technique of social investigation and promoter and coordinator of some masters, including social economics and non-profit organization and social economics and international cooperation. He has also been director of CIPSI, ITALI, Federation of 45 NGOs present in more than 60 countries around the world. With his investigations, he is interested in local development processes such as the construction of territory identities that imply the affirmation of rights, ontological reason, through the strength of associative and democratic forms of production. In this direction, he works to what is called an economic phenomenology, which aims to observe the economic starting from the relationship between subject and materiality, which presupposes functions, ideas, concepts, and the affirmation of the relational identity of a democratic society, which defines an ontological reason as opposed to the utilitarian one. He has published various books and scientific articles from which he explains concepts such as social ethical capital, economic socialization and democracy, demand for the rights of the people, mesoeconomics approach, and the Principles of Economic Phenomenology. As his latest books we mention, The Economy is a Social Phenomenon, Principles of Economics Phenomenology in 2019, published with Ubeda, Wolves and Lambs, Capitalist Societies and Way Out 2017, published with Jaka Book. As it is midnight in Argentina, that's why Francisco sir could not join us, but he has sent his blessings and best wishes to all the participants. So next on, we have Professor Jair Minoru Abe from Paulista University, Brazil. Jair Minoru Abe received BA and MSc in Pure Mathematics, University of Sao Paulo, Brazil. Also received the doctor degree and livre docente title from the same university. He is currently coordinator of Logic Area of Institute of Advanced Studies, University of Sao Paulo, Brazil, and full professor at Paulista University, Brazil. His research interest topics include paraconsistent annotated logics and AI, ANN in biomedicine and automation, among others. He is senior member of IEEE. Professor Abe is studious of a family of paraconsistent annotated logic, which is used to solve many complex problems in engineering. He has authored, edited books on paraconsistent and related logic. He is the recipient of many awards, including medals for his academic performance, and also received many Best Articles awards. Presently, Professor Abe serves as associate editor and member of the editorial board of some journals related to the intelligent system and applications. Professor Abe has supervised a number of PhD candidates successfully and presented a number of keynote addresses. He has co-authored around 300 plus publications, including book, research articles, research reports, etc. Professor Abe's research interests include system design using conventional and artificial intelligence techniques, paraconsistent annotated logic, human factors in aviation, intelligent decision-making, teaching and learning practices, and cognitive studies. Next, we have Professor Shrikant Patnaik, Chairman IIMT and UNESCO Chair, Lecturer at National University of La Plata. Dr. Shrikant Patnaik, the founder and director of IIMT Bhubaneswar, holds an MBA from Sambalpur University in the year of 1991 and a PhD in computational intelligence from Jadavpur University, India in 1999. With an extensive academic career, he has supervised various theses and master theses in computational intelligence, soft computing applications, and re-engineering. Dr. Patnaik's scholarly contributions include more than 100 research papers in international journals and conferences proceedings, along with authoring 3 textbooks and more than 100 edited volumes, including invited book chapters published by leading international publishers such as Springer Verlag and Kluwer Academic. He holds editorial position in various book series and journals, including those published by IndoScience Publishing House, that is International Journal of Information and Communication Technology, IJICT, and International Journal of Computational Vision and Robotics, IJCVR. It also includes publication from Springer and IGI Global, contributing significantly to the dissemination of knowledge in his fields. So now I invite Professor Dr. Pramod Kumar Prushti, Principal of IIMT Bhubaneswar, to share a brief introduction about our institute. Sir, please.
Jai Jagannath. A very good morning to one and all present here. A hearty welcome to all esteemed speakers and participants. Myself, Dr. Pramod Kumar Prushti, welcome you all to this podium. Let me now give you a glimpse about our institute and its activities. IIMT Bhubaneswar, that is InterScience Institute of Management and Technology, Bhubaneswar, was established in the year 2007 with an objective of teaching science of management in addition to the practice of management. The name itself explains about the scientific study of management, and further to mention that it is inscribed in our institute logo. The institute, since its inception, has involved qualitatively to match industry standards in imparting teaching and training. At present, IIMT offers 2-year full-time course in MBA and MCA program affiliated with Biju Patnaik University of Technology, Rourkela. Workshops, seminars, and conferences. Let me explain what do we mean by teaching science of management. During these 15 years of experience, 15 years of existence, we have organized, facilitated more than 100 symposium, seminar, workshops, national and international in various niche areas of management and technology. Books publications. Since our inception, we at IIMT have edited and published more than 100 volumes in the area of management and technology. From reputed publishing houses like IEEE, ACM, Springer, Elsevier, iOS, SPY, Fluor Academic, MDPI, Hindawi, or IndoScience, etc. All these books are available for purchase from Google or Amazon. All our faculty members are engaged in these activities. Visiting professors. Each year, we invite and host professors from abroad for workshops and seminars. I am tempted to say that this year, Professor Jesus Garcia from Universidad Complutense de Madrid and Professor Vijayan Sugmaran from Oakland University School of Business visited our campus. During the month of April 2023, Professor Vipul Jain was here from Victoria University, Wellington, for a month on a research exchange program. IIMT lecture note on management. We publish management books through our own in-house publication, that is IIMT lecture notes on management, where we publish the essential books like self-management, career guidance, and emerging fields of management. IIMT Open House. We have started one channel, namely IIMT Open House in YouTube. The purpose is to educate students and parents at large and on various subjects and discipline through talks and interviews. By now, we have more than 100 episodes available at our YouTube channel, namely @IIMT Open House. We have taken interviews with professors, professionals, entrepreneurs, and policymakers. UNESCO Chair Professor Institute Network. Our institute is in the UNESCO Chair Professor Institute Network. Professor Florin Propentiu Vladisescu from City University, London, who is a UNESCO professor in the domain of information technology, visited our institute during 2016. Today, I am proud to say that we are hosting the UNESCO Chair Professor on Economic Systems and Human Rights. Thanks a lot to Professor Francisco Vigliarolo for giving me this opportunity. For upcoming academic year 2025-26, IIMT is welcoming all technocrats for exploring the vast domain of engineering and technology. IIMT will offer computer science, engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and electrical engineering. Research Network. IIMT organizes a series of conferences in the domain of science, technology, engineering, and management, STEM. The details of about our institute is available at http://interscience.in. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us about the institution's mission and vision. Now, to present the introductory remark for the symposium, may I invite Professor Shrikant Patnaik, Director of IIMT and UNESCO Chair Lecturer, at National University of La Plata. Sir, please.
Very good morning to all of you. I am seeing 10 participants are here, out of which our faculty members are there. I must tell that you have already listened to, you may remove this slide, Itisri. You may close this one, yeah. So this is a symposium, international symposium we are organizing on, say, social, ethical, and legal aspect of generative AI. It is a buzzword now. AI has entered into almost all domain, and we teachers, while writing paper, also we do not know, unknowingly or knowingly, we are taking the help of AI. Now, this is a major challenge for everyone. Definitely, AI is helping us in different domain and different work. Almost all domain, whether it is medical science, whether it is engineering, whether it is, say, social science, everywhere we are using it. However, there are also loopholes, and we will be trapped with the aid of AI. So these kind of symposium we are organizing since 2010 on different topics and different areas, to help the scholars and the academic community who are doing research. We also maintain one organization of IIMT, one wing of IIMT known as Inter-Science Research Network. Through that, we organize conferences, symposium, and bringing out edited volume. Particularly, whenever a small number of papers are there, we are releasing a book. It is not a conference, it is a symposium. It is not a very big audience. Whenever we take a very niche area, so only few experts are there and they contribute. And you must always, the editor of this book is Professor Minoru Abe. He is an AI expert from Brazil. Professor Francisco Vigliarolo, he is an expert in the area of ethics and legal aspect. Another professor, Kazumi Nakamatsu from Japan, he also works on AI. And me, I am from IIMT. As you have already heard that from IIMT, we have already published from different publishing houses more than 100 volumes, and we have organized 100 conferences. So we always give scope to the scholars and academicians inside the country and outside. And the purpose of meeting you people in a small, say, virtual meeting is to know each other, and you should know about our activity in the research and publication domain. And secondly, we also know your, say, contribution towards this area, that is generative AI. And obviously, as Madam already mentioned, that whatever contributions we are receiving in the domain of, say, science, technology, engineering, and management, STEM, we always keep it or archive it in our, say, YouTube channel, that is IIMT Open House. So today, whatever presentation you are going to deliver in this symposium, it will be uploaded to our YouTube channel. The purpose is very clear. If you are doing very good work, always you will definitely share this link among your peer review, your peers and colleagues. If at all you are committing any kind of, say, plagiarism, it will be detected immediately, and before publication, it will be reached to the publisher. So that is the way now the publishing houses are moving forward. I am an editor working with almost all publishing houses. You call it IEEE, SCM, Springer, Elsevier, SPIE, iOS Press, Inder Science, Blackwell, Fluid Academic, Sales Publication, Taylor and Francis, almost all publishing houses, me as well as my team members are working. And everywhere now, the previously what was happening, the thing was that two reviewers were reviewing the paper or the chapter. Then once it is accepted, it is submitted to the publisher. Then the publisher was publishing the matter. But now, before they are releasing to their public domain, that is either say print or it is a web media, they are checking it again. So the publication time from the presentation, previously they were mentioning it is 3 to 4 months time, but now they are adding another 1 to 2 months time. So from the presentation to the publication, it will take 6 months time. I must tell you all the paper presenter. Secondly, now the plagiarism issue is very, very high and it is a very dangerous thing because of the introduction of AI. And this symposium is meant for how to take care of the ethical issues, legal issues, and the social issues of, say, generative AI. So I hope as the responsible researcher, you understand the meaning of social, ethical, and legal aspect of generative AI. And after your presentation, obviously, from the reviewer comment and today's session chair is Dr. Suprav Laha. He will be giving us some more feedback about the paper. After that, we will be processing your paper for the book on, say, cell guide, that is social, ethical, and legal aspect of generative AI, to be published from Springer. And I must tell you, after this meeting, I have to join another meeting. I may not be available for the next couple of hours, but I must tell you, each month we hold a meeting internationally where the people are there joining from different part of the globe. As you have seen now, the three other editors are from three different countries. That is Japan, Brazil and Argentina. Brazil and Argentina, this is midnight, and the Japan, it is, say, it is afternoon, evening 5 to 6 o'clock. And the professor from Japan is busy today with another meeting, so therefore he is unable to attend. However, Professor Minoru Abe has sent his greetings, and I'll request Madam Itisri to run the video or the message sent by Professor Minoru Abe. With this, I remain. Thank you all, and I hope in our future endeavor also you will be participating in this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for providing us with a broad perspective on generative AI and importance in today's context. So moving forward, Jair Minoru Abe, who could not attend the symposium as it is midnight in Argentina, but they have shared their insights and best wishes through a video. Let me share with you.
Good morning.
I hope the sound is audible.
Guests, researchers, and the participants from all around of the world. It's an honor and a privilege to welcome you all to the International Symposium of Social, Ethical, and Legal Aspects of Generative AI, ISGAI 2024. This gathering represents not only a confluence of pioneering minds and thought leaders, but also a critical milestone in the journey to address profound questions raised by advancements of generative AI. As we stand at the forefront of technological evolution, generative AI has redefined the boundaries of creativity, productivity, and innovation. Yet, with these unprecedented capabilities come equally profound responsibilities. How we harness regulate, and integrate such technologies into society will shape the very fabric of our future. This Congress is a platform to explore these intricate and multifaceted dimensions. Over the next few days, we will engage in stimulating discussions, share groundbreaking research, and forge meaningful collaborations. We will dive deep into ethical implications and machine-generated content, legal frameworks for accountability, and the social impacts on communities worldwide. I urge each of you to approach this event with open minds and critical perspectives. Let us challenge existing paradigms, question assumptions, and push forward the discourse that will guide policy making, ethical standards, and responsible AI development. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my deepest gratitude to our keynote speakers, panelists, and sponsors whose invaluable contributions have made this event possible. Thank you for joining us at ISGAI 2024. Let's make these days inspiring, transformative, and above all, impactful. Thank you to Professor Sri Lanka Patnaik for inviting me to this opening section. Thank you very much.
So with that, we now transition into our technical session chaired by Dr. Suprab Ranjan Laha from Brainware University, Kolkata. Let me introduce Professor Suprab to all of you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, good morning. Just a second, sharing. Dr. Suprab Ranjan Laha is a faculty of computer science and engineering at Brainware University, Barasat, West Bengal, India. He earned his PhD in 2024 and MTech in 2020 from Shiksha O Anusandhan deemed to be University Bhubaneswar, following a bachelor's in engineering from Visvesvaraya Technological University VTU in 2018. Dr. Laha's research focuses on cutting-edge areas such as environmental IoT, human-computer interaction, and AI-based systems. He has made significant scholarly contributions with over 25 research publications in prestigious Scopus and Web of Science Index journals and conferences. He is also the author of a widely recognized book on mobile computing available on platforms like Amazon and Flipkart. His innovation extends to intellectual property with 4 patents published and granted in India and Germany. In addition to his research and teaching, Dr. Laha actively contributes to the academic community as a reviewer for numerous renowned Scopus and Web of Science Index journals. He has also been a reviewer for more than 15 international IEEE and Scopus conferences, enhancing the rigor and quality of scholarly work in his fields of expertise. So from here, I will ask Professor Suprab to take over and coordinate the presentations.
Thank you, ma'am. For I'm honored to have been invited to serve as session chair at the Symposium on AI. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity to contribute such a relevant and dynamic area. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, sir, I have made you co-host. So you can now, our first presentation participant has already joined, Mr. Shubham Saurav. Madam Kalpana Sahu is actually traveling, so she could not join. So Mr. Shubham Saurav will present on behalf of her.
Okay, ma'am.
Every participants are requested to give a brief introduction about themselves, and post that they can share their slides and go forward. Over to you, Suprab sir.
Okay, start the presentation, sir.
So thank you so much, sir. Very good morning, one and all present here. This is Shubham Saurav.
Good morning, sir.
This is Shubham Saurav, working as a senior HR manager with ICICI Bank, and I had completed my MBA in Human Resource Management from Exim University in the year 2024. The area of research is something which I'm actually very keen of, and thinking from the perspective, from the practical implication across the industry, as well as integrating with the theoretical analysis which we have studied and which we are working towards the advancement in this particular technologies. I believe that this is something which is really the area of interest for me and the area of the interest for the present world, because empathic decision and AI integration is something where which is not the new buzzword these days, but it is going to be the new normal. So with this, I would like to start my presentation. Could you please let me know that if my screen is visible to you so that I can pull up my presentation here?
Hey, you are visible, sir.
Thank you.
Shubham, you are now a co-host, so you can share your slides.
Thank you so much. So please let me know if my screen is visible to you or not.
Yes, yes.
Well, the topic for our is like designing the AI systems with the user empathy and the inclusivity, navigating bias and the.
Sorry to interrupt, but Shubham, your voice is not audible actually. A bit louder.
Am I audible right now?
Yes, yes, you are.
Okay. So I said that the topic for today presentation of mine is like designing AI system with user empathy and inclusivity, navigating the bias and the representation. So why this topic came into my mind is because of the ongoing AI driven instances which trigger us to think about are we working in a fairer direction? So this instances had triggered me. Yeah, one second. This has triggered me when we saw something called as a Chanel CEO, the Microsoft, when she visited the Microsoft headquarter and asked the ChatGPT to show the picture of her company leadership. But it's surprising to say that though the Chanel has around 76% of the employee workforce all as a women, and the stakeholders or the customer, the clientele is comprised of the 92 to 93% of the women. However, the ChatGPT showed that it was all 100% men, not even wearing in a fashionable clothes. So this is something like the company which is working towards the fashion industry, and right now is triggering something showcasing all the men in a suit, the business suit. This is something which is a thing which we really need to think about. And this was a very recent news which was published on the October 30th, 2024. If I go further earlier, somewhere in the month of the July 2024, I can see that the Cambridge University, the Cambridge study states that the AI chatbots have the empathy gap. So what do they mean? So there were the two studies which was published in the Cambridge study group. The first one being like an Amazon Alexa incident. So it asked like a 10-year child to touch the live wire while interacting with the Alexa when the coin was being plugged on those on that the live wire. So this is something which is again like a point to be consider point of consideration for us. Then another incident, the case study discuss about the Snapchat My incident, where an adult researcher that was posing as a 13-year-old girl. The girl received a very inappropriate advice from the Snapchat AI chatbot, including the tips to how to lose her virginity to a 31-year-old person. Uh, and then if we again go like a bit the start of this particular year, and when we see that there was something like a Google Gemini AI image disaster, and we are aware of the fact that what happened. Seeking of the the responsibility was being taken by the, Mr. Sundar Pichai himself. So this is something which I feel that these recent news clips, which has been present across the internet and the globe, this has led to something to think about: is AI actually human sensitive, or is AI actually thinking about how we should trigger our emotions, or is it aligning with our own thoughts? Uh, so let's go further. I would like to discuss more here detail because the paper is my paper depicts more of the event that was covered under the Google Gemini AI image disaster. So I will not go in the brief detailed discussion about what happened here, but I will just like to highlight a few important specification. That was the first being like a beta during the beta testing phase. Uh, the Gemini produces some radically insensitive images of the historical figures, reinforcing the stereotypical tropes, and for the ease of which it could be weaponized or even like a deep fake any sort of emotions. So I like to give you the example like what happened like when it was asked to generate an image of a pope, the English kings. The model often produce an image with a darker skin tone. The first thing. Second, if we talk about the images of the Nazi soldiers, it generated of the diverse skin tones. So if we deal further into this, then we see that the statement by the Raghavan, who is like a present CTO of the Google India and the APAC region. So he depicted like a Google product news in the Google product news. He depicted like there was a two cause of this particular failure. The first being like a overcompensation, and the second being like a overcaution. So what is the overcompensation is like? So uh, according to him, the Gemini model was trained to showcase like a diverse range of the people, but in some cases it tried to overcompensate the fact, saying that due why this happened is happened because of lack of robust fine tuning and the bias mitigation technique, which leads to the inaccurate and the offensive images. Same thing if we talk about the overcaution. The model became very cautious that was intended, and it refused to answer like a specific certain prompts. Like if we look back into the history of the January or the February when we try to trigger some of the non-sensitive commands over the these LLMs, large language models. Uh, these models they try to wrongly depict, wrongly interpreted some of the Anodyne's prompts as a very sensitive, and they could not able to give the correct reasoning. And in that particular case, the entire spectrum is trying to throw some sort of a garbage images across us. So what I think is like the problem statement, which of my point of consideration is like I try to analyze the suspectable root cause for these incidents which happened in all the last recent news. The first being what I feel is like the unintended bias. Second being like a very stringent sensitivity. Then from the management perspective, we further see that there was a rush to market, insufficient testing, and there was always the misalignment between the teams. Why I feel, because if we try to align with the McKinsey 7S principle, that which lacks like a strategic inclination before any sort of a product launch, which lacks any sort of sensitivity training of any product before coming into the market, especially if we talk about the AI. So I feel that these like 5 different root causes are something which we need to focus on the trigger out. Now, if I would like to move further, talking more on the biases perspective. So I would like to present here like the IBM model of a biases in a machine learning design. So when we talk about the machine learning design, so there is something like an external intervention which has been the data has been extracted from the external intervention. These raw data, they are being fed into the discrimination data unit sets. Now, when it has been fed into the discrimination data unit set, what does it mean? It says that there was something, the external or the internal bias that they tried to overpopulate and co-populate the entire segment. Then then these data are again been fed into the data set matrices. Uh, and it goes like a pre-processing and the standard pre-processing algorithm. But it again depends on our choice that whether we want to keep it under those segments or not. Then some data, according to our wish, are sent to the testing data set or some into the training data sets, and then further the data sets, then again the further the deployment works, and then again it's sent to the external intervention. So at every point of these algorithm, which has been presented here, the entire spectrum is being subjected for the biases which we have. And this has been also proven in the IBM AI data sets. And the IBM states there is a model which is being presented by the IBM as like the AI 360 degrees, stating about the fairness of how the fairness of these machine learning and the large LLM models can take into the consideration. When we talk about these, I would like to focus more on the management perspectives rather than on the technical side. What the focus area of this entire bias mitigation technique would be, it should focus on the AI human interface. When we talk about the AI human interface, the first being like a user centric design. Now, when we talk about the user centric design, that's design should focus more on the ethnographic and the qualitative approach. Second being like a structural equity, when it talks about the addressing the bias and ensuring the diversity. Third being like a transparency and the trust. When we talk about transparency and trust, it stresses more on the openness and the decision making. Then the last being like an emotional intelligence, which need to focus on the human machine interaction through the appropriate response and listening skills. Now I would like to move further that what these things have led us to the conclusion. If I referred here into the Stanford Institute of the Human Centered Artificial Intelligence AI Index reports, and it comes up with something called as uh, HCAI principle, that is like a human-centered AI design principle. So what the basic mean? It's nothing. It's just like it's a new level of the engagement as a human-centric approach towards artificial intelligence that proposes something called as a human needs, values, and the considerations stating how we face or deal in any sort of a situation, or even when the new technologies come into the pictures. So the focus area of these would be like improving the human skills, improving the well-being, and addressing the ethical and the social cultural requirements. Talking about this particular fact, the principles of the AI is depend on the very basics stuffs, like what we deal when we interact with the other human is just like the transparency, accountability, fairness, privacy protection, user control and empowerment, accessibility, reliability, continuous learning, ethics, and human AI collaboration. Which we feel when we talk about the human AI collaboration. So there is some, again, I would like to present here with the another adaptive learning model. Uh, and here is like a data interpretation and the adaptive training, how these things are taken into the consideration when we talk about the SCI principles. So first being like a test data set. Test data sets are being fed into a test instances. Let's suppose if we want to create any scenario and we try to give some sort of changes across those scenarios and try to understand that how the entire situation is going to come. Then we feed these the entire algorithm with some thing like a random data. Then we try to add like a weight to these random data. When we add the weights is like according to the specification, like, okay, let's suppose we are having a 10 sequence, then let's suppose sequence number 8 will be having the proper highest weight, then 7 will be the lowest weight, and so on and so forth. Once it is done, then we feed like a we try to go put these data into the predictive analysis. Then the model training takes place. Then the feature selection takes place, and finally the explanation, and it is fed to the user. So why this principle is being taken here is like it creates like a fairness, it creates a sense of accountability, it creates a sense of mitigating the biasness, and definitely these the protector systems, and these are being encrypted, and it so-called focuses more on the privacy protection of the entire SCA design, which has been depicted in the Stanford Institute of Human-Centered Artificial Intelligence AI Index report. Uh, Also, when I was going through the literature review of working on the literature review, and I focus on the facts. So, on the bias mitigation techniques, which is a core center of this our particular paper, talking about the bias mitigation techniques. So, there are like various techniques which have been embedded here, which has been put here. So, the first technique being like a fairness aware ML model. Uh, Definitely, as the name suggests, is focus on the fairness and the constraints in the training and the development. But however, it has certain constraints, and those are like those constraints could be a bit challenging. Second is like algorithmic auditing and the bias detection model, which again, as the name suggests, is focusing more on the data model decision and the outcomes bias. But however, the data sets, it requires a continuous monitoring and the domain expertise. Another one being like explainable artificial intelligence model. Now, this model basically helps to understand how the feature attributes to the prediction of any particular event or in anything. I would like to give here the example of the system which is happening in my organization, ICICI Bank, talking about the finance, the loan processing. So, what we do is like we feed the customer details into our own system, and these details, they collate the data from it has collaborated with the various government channels to understand the CIBIL score of any person, to understand uh, any sort of a fraud the person is committing, or any sort of a clearance, and so on. It aligns with the multiple systems, and then we have like a set of a data that we have some score has been generated. I will not going to state the score criteria about it, but there are certain threshold for that particular score, and above which the loan processing can take place in this particular. Same thing, talking about the investment and the mutual fund alignment area. Again, this sort of a things which takes place, that how the what amount of mutual fund investments to the person, or what amount of systematic investment plans to the person work. So it doesn't directly remove any sort of a bias, but it try to help and the diagnose, because this again requires some sort of a human intervention, that okay, the customer comes and they say that no, I want certain amount of the loan, or what are the process A, B, process B, process C, and the other alternatives. The next technique which I would like to discuss here is like a data pre-processing technique. So data pre-processing, it adjusts, transforms, or reweights the training data. The another technique which I would like to state is like a fair representation and embedded technique, which learns from the unbiased representation of the data, then counterfactual fairness models, which measure the fairness at the individual level of the each particular process. Causal inferences model, which understands and controls for the causal relationships, which is best for the policy making and the medical research, and in-process bias mitigation, which penalize biases during the model training, and which is best suited for the custom machine learning pipelines. With this, what our paper and what our analysis looks something like that is basically like a theoretical paper. So we'd not like to get more into the details, and we'd like to conclude that our analysis for the navigating biases and the representations, and basically the strategic implication from the management perspective, which we feel is like the prioritize a user-centric approach, then embed the fairness and the bias audits and developments, implement the transparent and the explainable AI concepts, ensure data diversities and representation, promote ethical AI governance and accountability across all levels, design for accessibility and inclusivity, incorporate feedbacks loop for continuous improvement to mitigate any sort of unforeseen events, address algorithmics and the systematic biases, enable fairness and the bias mitigation as part of the model lifecycle. Then the next being built multidisciplinary teams for a diverse perspective, and the last being like a leadership communication and the transparency, as we have seen in the Google case, that how transparent and the accountability Sundar Pichai and his entire teams took, and they have certainly stopped the production of the Gemini product feature of the Gemini image generation tool for certain events, which all leads to something which we call as a responsible AI, and that has some implication for the accountability and liability, ethics, fairness, and explainability and transparency. So this comes like our end of the paper, but however, if I like to tell about the practices which is happening. So definitely, if we see from the banking industry to because I've been working in the banking industry to education sectors and anywhere, so AI has been like a new normal in every day. Mostly, again, if we talk about the generative AI, which every day which we are using, then the future implication stays about our autonomous vehicles, environmental impact, then AI in education, then workforce transformation, and so on and so. So this comes our end of the presentation, and I'm open for any sort of a further discussion on this. Thank you so much. Also, Professor Kalpana Sahu is there with us.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you have your paper highlights the importance of human-centered and AI design. But could you elaborate on specific challenges you encountered or foresee when integrating empathy or inclusivity into AI systems?
Sir,
And
I think that you were not audible much. Could you please repeat once again?
okay, actually, I'm telling that could you elaborate on specific challenges you encountered?
The specific challenges which I encountered when I was using the AI. Okay. I would like to give you the example from my industry practices which we are having while I'm since I also work as a product lead for some sort of the segment which where we are integrating the AI. Uh, there is some tool from where we try to understand and analyze the our employees' mindset and our employees' behaviors where throughout the all the 30 days of the channel. So we trigger some sort of a command on their screen, like when they log into the system, they say that, hi, welcome, let's suppose, welcome, Shubham, how are you feeling today? Then we say that some sort of a options which are being present there. No doubt the people, if we see that the entire pool of a data set which we are working right now also on it, out of 100 people, we feel that only 27% of the people are actually focusing, giving us like the reliable options. It's not like a mandatory command that the customer had to put. We also have a like a skip option. If a customer, if our employees doesn't want to answer it at this point in time, they can skip as like. But we have observed that only 27% of the total workforce is answering that particular question. Out of this 27% of the workforce, however, only some segment of a people are giving like an accurate answer that they are feeling happy, they are feeling unhappy at this point in time, having some sort of a trouble with their workforce or so on and so forth. Based on the entire data, we predict our own policies. Like we have like set of a data which has been there. We try to predict our own policy. Let's suppose if a particular zone, I'm talking about the Maharashtra zone. Let's suppose employees of the Maharashtra, they are not feeling happy about the local travels, which is like a big concern here in the in Mumbai area. Then our model just try to predict that, okay, what are the areas of the improvement where we can make sure that our employees can mitigate those work and the opt for the hybrid mode of our option. Since it's like a banking industry, so we cannot make 100% a hybrid, but we can also make some sort of a segment of the people hybrid. However, we are having only the limited set of our data for this. So the entire predictability of these particular segments become very difficult to understand. So this is one of the challenges which we are facing with the AI predicting model. Then second, which I like to state when I was working in my previous organization, about the course content and the course moderation. So in my previous organization, we were working with I was working as a program manager, working with a Berkeley has university. So from the Berkeley has we have like some set of standards and the protocols which we have to follow while creating of the course. But however, we also have the feedback and the looping system which has been present and given to the customers who where we seek their feedback and we want to integrate those feedbacks into our system. However, again, we see that the feedback which has been given to us or which we are observing from our which we are receiving at our end, those feedbacks are actually valuable at some segment, but however, it may not be valuable to the other set of the customer, maybe who are working from the European region or who are working with the Australian region. So there are like a cross gap. So this is something which we are with this our model with the help of AI, which we are feeling the difficulty in that.
Okay, sir. Sir, you have discussed various types of biases, right?
Hmm.
So, what approaches would you recommend to effectively mitigate these biases during the development of AI systems?
Okay. So when we talk about the mitigating the biases, the first of all, we need to understand that for which user and these biases are actually permanent. Maybe from the set of if we take our entire work force or the entire population into consideration, the people we know that the people are working, even the newborn children, somewhere attaining an age of a 5 or 6 year, they are also using the system and the laptops, and they are actually been vulnerable towards the internet and all. And there are people who in their late 80s or 90s who are also into the system. So we have like a humongous volume of a population who are actually the internet friendly and the internet user. For some segment, we need to understand from the user perspective and the user end that the certain content which needs to be shown to the adult may not be acceptable for the children for the age group of 4 to 5 years old, and that goes like a vice versa. Mitigating the bias, the first thing is like a user how we are user like a user centric approach. Second, also I have talked here about equity, structural equity is not that, let's suppose if we're talking about from the diversity perspective, where we recently saw the news of a Mintra. So Mintra has promoted about the 7 days of well-being leave for certain set of for the entire workforce, and again some sort of a menstrual leave for the specific set of the women. But however, there are the organization which doesn't even focuses or values on these particular things, and they say that okay, if we're talking about the we collect the data from all the pools, and we try to do our own study, we try to fit into the LLM system, large language model systems, and we say that okay, we give a command that okay, create a system, create a chart or the workforce schedule for the people who are having uh, who will be needing the menstrual leave and so on and so forth. But however, what about the person who needs about the mental well-being break? What about the person who, if we talk about the third genders, what about the person they need some sort of a social and emotional breaks, and so on and so forth. So this is something which is again depending upon the user centric and the user end.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Nice presentation, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
And just I am the second author. I
Yes,
just
sir.
will add one thing to Subham's presentation. I was just traveling. I saw the kinds of AI, how it is operating in different kinds of city. Because I was, very much
tuned to this Digijatra while I was in the Bangalore airport, but in Bhubaneswar, there is no such kinds of digitalization. So that is that another, kinds of challenge, the infrastructure, the way we are promoting all those kinds of, one is user promotions, that is one aspect, and the infrastructure facility and how the stakeholders really, taking it forward. That is also very important to promote AI.
Okay, ma'am.
So this is from Subham and my side. So I think our presentation got over.
So thank you, sir, everybody.
Thank you, sir and ma'am.
So thank you, Subham, and thank you, Kalpana Madam, for joining us. So our next presentation is ISGAI 002. It's on harnessing the power of AI, a resource-based view of the medtech industry by Dr. Murchana Tripathi, Dr. Manaswini Jena, Vivek Kumar Garg, Yashwant Srinivas Kari, Devjyoti De. So I think Dr. Murchana Tripathi ma'am is there. So she will be presenting their article. Ma'am, please. I'm making you co-host. You can share your slides.
Yes.
Madam, kindly give a brief introduction of yours, then you can start.
Good morning, everybody. I am Murchana Tripathi. I am a faculty at TFI Management Institute, Manipal. I have done my PhD from Shiksha Anusandhan, Bhubaneswar, and that is how Professor Srikant is also my teacher. And I'm very happy that sir is organizing this, and I'm presenting. I have got this opportunity to present a paper here. And my co-authors are the topic, as you can see, and also it was announced by Professor Itishri. The topic is harnessing the power of AI, a resource-based view of the medtech industry. My co-authors for this work my co-authors for this work are Dr. Manashwini Jaina. She's also my batchmate, PhD batchmate, and she's now working as an assistant professor in Birla Global University, Bhubaneswar. And Vivek Kumar Garg from E&Y Bangalore, Yashwant Kari and Devjyoti De, who work with O9 Solutions, Bangalore. I will now move to the topic. Today's topic is about harnessing the power of AI, exploring how responsible AI use is possible in healthcare and medtech industry. So we are all familiar with this AI-powered digital transformation that is happening across various sectors such as healthcare, agriculture, education, finance, HR, marketing, hospitality and tourism, and so on. So all the industries today, they are very keen to adapt to this particular technology. But then also when such a boom happens, it is also the responsibility of the developers and the people who are actually using it to ensure that how the responsible and ethical use of this particular technology is happening. So today's talk is basically based on that. We are exploring the healthcare domain and the medtech industry, which basically consists of the companies that manufacture, develop, and distribute technological equipment in the form of devices or diagnostic equipments or test information systems and software to healthcare industry. So if we talk about the different use cases, some of the use cases that is there AI use cases in healthcare, then disease prediction, radio diagnostics, and patient data analytics. These are some of the use cases. The objective of this work is to identify the resources that play a major role in implementing AI-based solution in the context of medtech industry. So when we talk about AI based solution, and that too in medtech industry, which is basically building this equipment for the healthcare professionals, then we are talking about the AI augmentation aspect. So how AI is augmenting the human workforce. So, and the success of such kind of application typically will depend on the appropriate human AI interaction, where AI should only augment, rather it should not do any job displacement. So in this context, resources can be human resources, it can be capital, it can be machinery, or it can be any AI application. And also we will be, when we discuss about the resource based view, we will not only look at the resources, we will also look at organizational capabilities. So in this study, basically we are using RBV theory, which is a strategic management theory, resource based view. And in the context of RBV, this VRIO instrument, where V stands for value, R stands for rarity, I stands for the imitability, which is impossible to imitable, and O stands for organization. Moving on, first I would like to explain the resource-based view. So as you can see in this figure, the first decision box represents this resource. Is a resource or capability valuable? So we are basically trying to figure out how, using the internal resources and capability, an organization can gain competitive advantage. That means, something this organization has that helps its business to outperform its competitors. So as I mentioned earlier, resources can be HR, it can be capital, machinery, and applications, and capability can be the skills to use these resources. So it may so happen that an organization has resources, but it does not have the skill set, or it does not have the capability to use those resources. So in the first place, if the resource or capability is not valuable, then it will lead to competitive disadvantage. So in the context of the healthcare industry, suppose a hospital has a disease diagnostic system. Okay, suppose it is a new system that they have procured, they have invested on the system. But however, they also used to have a legacy system, an rule-based expert system, and now after bringing this new system on board, they are using both these things, the rule-based system as well as this new system for disease prediction. Then it may lead to competitive disadvantage, because the rule-based system has been built only through human expert opinion, right? Whereas this AI based system has been built using data, right? So that is why, instead of using only this AI based system, if they still rely on the legacy system, then it may lead to competitive disadvantage, right? But if the resource is valuable, if the resource and capabilities are valuable, then it can lead to competitive parity, as you can see in the next decision box. But for that to happen, competitive parity meaning, so these resources and capabilities, the same nature of resources and capabilities are actually possessed by multiple different firms who are operating in the same industry. So maybe multiple medtech firms, or by multiple hospitals, they have the same kind of resources and capabilities. Then it will not lead to competitive advantage. However, it will lead to competitive parity. In that case, we say that these resources and capabilities are homogeneously distributed, and hence that leads to competitive parity. Now, if the resource is heterogeneously distributed, that means only say one player in the industry, one player is having those resources, then it may lead to temporary competitive advantage. So in this context, we don't claim that this will lead to sustained competitive advantage. It may so happen that currently only one player in the industry is having those resources and capabilities, but going forward, there can be multiple companies who can have this kind of resources. Maybe in a period of 2 years or 5 years, it is possible to copy this kind of resources and capabilities. Then in that case, the company which is currently having those resources and capabilities will have temporary competitive advantage. So now the last thing, when we can say that something will lead to the resources and capabilities will lead to sustained competitive advantage, if those resources and capabilities are imperfectly mobile. So in a organizational context, when we are talking about a healthcare setting or a medtech industry, it will be the technical capabilities, the AI based solutions which heavily depend on the Medicare data, okay, which are again proprietary data. When we talk about Medicare data, hospitals and the healthcare sector maintains the privacy, isn't it? It is not possible to expose the data just like that. So so since these AI based solutions are tied to this data, that is why it will not be possible to basically copy these solutions. That is one aspect of it. And second, how the sector, the company is basically managing these applications. Okay, how basically this is being used in the hospital or by the company, and how they are able to manage it. So the management skills also, which is tacit in nature, cannot be copied. That is how it will lead to sustained competitive advantage. Now, coming to the BRIO framework in the context of medtech industry, so a resource which is valuable, which is actually giving some value to the company. So, in the context of medtech industry, an AI application, suppose, okay, a hospital is using this AI application to diagnose chest X-rays and CT scans using deep learning and deliver accurate reports to the doctors in time. Then it adds great value because they are able to generate so many reports, and the two accurate reports with a limited period of time. Also, this kind of applications, we can say sometimes some of the applications in the healthcare sector or by the medtech industry, suppose some medtech applications, okay, they are rare. Okay, so say for example patents, a particular application or a particular medtech equipment that this company has built, and the patent is with them, then it is rare. It is difficult to copy that. Imperfect immutability. Sorry. Imperfect immutability, difficult to copy or replicate. So AI-based solutions, as I mentioned earlier, they are tied to data and hence difficult to replicate. It is not like you are getting some recommendation through Spotify and you can reverse engineer it. It is not possible in this kind of a setting. Whereas in case of Spotify or in case of Netflix, in those kind of application, you can always reverse engineer from the recommendations that users are getting. But in case of medical applications, it is not possible because of the privacy that is there in the data set. Then the organizational structure and management helps to achieve sustained competitive advantage. So AI resources and capabilities need to be managed well. Now, what are the different types of resources in the context of medtech industry? It can be classified into two types, tangible and intangible. So tangible resources, we have, I have some noise actually, basically. I can hear some noise. Hello?
Suprab sir, kindly mute your mic, please. Yes, madam, you can continue now.
Yeah, thank you. So types of resources, two types, tangible and intangible. Tangible resources, doctors, nurses, compounders, so human resources basically. And besides that, also there are legal documents, country specific regulations are there. These all come under tangible resources. Intangible resources, so electronic healthcare records, right? And interdepartmental coordination. It is difficult to understand how that is happening also, interdepartmental coordination. And EHRs are software. So these are all intangible resources. Now, a role of human resource in the medtech companies. So to build AI applications, human resource is important. So for example, we have data scientists who are responsible for data pre-processing, data cleaning, and model training. Okay, so that will be done by the data scientists. Then we have AI development team. We have programmers who will basically develop the code, who will basically develop the algorithm for the AI application. So they are important. Clinical informaticists are there who have knowledge about both the sector, that is healthcare as well as information technology. So they analyze and design systems basically based on the needs of the patients and healthcare professionals both, because the equipments or the applications which medtech industry will build will cater to both these categories, patients as well as healthcare professionals. And also it will improve, they would like to improve the patient portals. These are some of the work that they take care of. Finally, we have also UX designers, UI designers, and for any AI-based application, and for that matter, any application, we must have a user-friendly interface. Then next we are going to briefly discuss about two companies, two medtech companies who are basically using AI and ML to develop healthcare solutions and equipments that will be used by healthcare professionals. So the first company is Biosymmetrics. It is a phenomic-driven drug discovery firm. So the main thing that they are doing is drug discovery, but what kind of data they are using. So basically they are using the phenotypic data. Phenotypic data is basically the observable data. So for example, body temperature, height of a discovery can be done. So that is the job of Biosymmetrics. It combines both clinical as well as experimental data and uses machine learning technique to translate biology of human diseases and enhance precision medication. So in the context of Biosymmetric, if we discuss VRIO, then integration of this company integrates emerging technology like AI and ML with traditional business, right? Traditionally also there are many ways to basically figure out based on these parameters what kind of disease is there. So traditional methods are existing, but with those traditional components it is integrating AI and ML. Then the next one is the drug discovery method followed is rare and non-immutable because it is patented. The technology is patented technology. In this context it cannot be immutable. However, literature says that in other contexts technology can always be imitated. Okay, it can always be copied because you can reverse engineer. But in this context, when you are talking about AI and ML in healthcare, medicine, and medtech industry, it is difficult to copy it, right? Because of data privacy. So data privacy becomes a boom in the becomes a boon in this case. So biosymmetrics follow a flat organizational structure. So that means flat means so horizontal discussions are possible, and that is why it encourages free flow of ideas and opinions. The next company that we had considered for this work was Subtle Medical, which works in the AI powered image enhancement field. So basically MRI. In this field they work. They develop vendor neutral MRI software, medical imaging software, and they use deep learning technique for image enhancement. If I apply VRIO in this context, then they have a proprietary deep learning algorithm. Again, this technology is proprietary for image enhancement. Image enhancement using AI is also not a very much explored area, and thus it is valuable and rare. It is difficult to imitate because of the proprietary nature of the algorithm and the technology. And this company is basically a listed company also, and it has a lot of things from technology product to technology to product managers to neurologists, marketers. Everybody are satisfying. Everybody is doing their role the way they should do, and that is how everything is present in their company hierarchy, and that is why it promotes efficient product development and marketing. Now, resources used by Biosymmetrics and Subtle Medical to support AI, because they are operating in the same kind of the nature of industry is the same. AI based solutions they are building. So the kind of resources they are exploring are also same tangible resources. The kind of tangible resources they are using are IT infrastructure, data center, network infrastructure, high computing capacity like CPUs and GPUs, security mechanisms, and HR. And intangible resources, electronic records, AI ML models, data, cybersecurity, software, knowledge, etc. Now, so when we had given this paper, basically we did not incorporate any other strategic framework besides VRIO, but we had got this review to compare VRIO with SWOT and followed by PESTEL. So we have included this here in the presentation as well. So they cannot directly be compared, but however, there is some relationship with them that we are trying to bring that up here. So the VRIO framework and SWOT. So VRIO basically the focus is only on internal factors. So it focuses on the internal resources and capabilities, and it tries to explore whether they are valuable, rare, inimitable, and organized. There are no external concern which is there with VRIO. And the purpose of using is to determine sustainable competitive advantage. So how it is relationship to VRIO, it helps to identify strengths. So if I talk about the relationship of SWOT with VRIO, then in the context of VRIO, it will help to identify the strengths and weaknesses. Okay. And moving forward to SWOT, it actually it has both the internal factors as well as focus on the external factors. It helps to determine the current position of the company in the market. Strengths can be competitive edge and weaknesses can be areas of improvement for the which area the company should focus. And opportunities are like which segment the company in the medtech industry. Also, if it is a AI based medtech company, then what should be the focus for the future growth opportunity, and what are the challenges that it should mitigate in terms of threats. So it evaluates the position and identify improvement areas. And VRIO insights can inform SWOT because internal components are there in VRIO, so that can be input for SWOT. So VRIO strengths support opportunities and weaknesses show vulnerabilities. Now, PESTEL, it is another strategic management framework. Again, it is not directly related. However, like I mentioned earlier, that SWOT basically has both these components, internal as well as external. But PESTEL will have basically the external components. So PESTEL stands for political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal, and it analyzes the external environmental factor that affects the organization. But when we are talking about AI and ML based solution, external factors also play an important role, right? Because country specific laws are there, regulations are there. So those all play an important role. So in the context of the medtech industry, regulatory standards, laws, country specific, country's political environment, etc., impact the use of the AI based solution in healthcare, and thus raise the question of the value. So we may have designed AI based solutions, but if this environment is not supporting, then it is difficult to deploy those solutions. Economic conditions will determine the demand for the medtech solutions. People should be able to afford what is there, and for the economic conditions of a country will indicate whether enough funding is available for AI based research and development, because continuous research and development is required in this particular segment. Then PESTEL can help us understand the advancement in technology landscape as well, because technology, we can see that in PESTEL technology is a component. So for example, rapid advancements in domain specific research, right? So in healthcare, if something is developing very rapidly, then that has to be replicated correctly in the AI based solution as well, in AI based solution models and algorithms. Then demand for AI augmentation is increasing in every sector as well as in healthcare also. And because it is increasing in healthcare, that is why it serves as a driver for growth for the medtech industry, because medtech people bring the technology into healthcare. So hence the focus should be on the development of ethical and responsible AI solutions that depend on organizational structure. For example, collaboration between AI, data science team and legal team will help embed ethical checks in every stage of the AI solution development. Then RBP and VRIO for development of ethical AI in medtech. So how these two things, RBP, basically we have used these two things, RBP resource-based view theory and this VRIO instrument. So how they can lead to development of ethical AI, right? So when I talk about the application in medtech industry, then RBP, as we discussed, so far we have discussed that it is focusing on tangible and both tangible and intangible resources. Hence, it will help us identify critical resources, such as in the context of AI, it should be bias-free data set, representative training samples, so that each patient is treated equally. Then explainable models. Doctors should know how the AI model is generating any kind of recommendation. Medical and AI expertise and privacy protocols. So what are the ethical AI principles which will be impacted with this? So fairness. When we talk about fairness, then so people of any gender or race should be treated equally and in a fair manner. Then non-discrimination. The AI-based solution should not discriminate against anybody, any state, any religion, or anything. Transparency, it should be explainable in nature. Black box AI model are not suitable, will not be suitable for AI-based solutions. Then it should respect the data privacy. Privacy of the patient data is important. It must maintain that. Accountability. So who is finally responsible for if something happens? Okay, so whether the company, the medtech company who has built the solution, or the hospital who is using the solution, or the doctor and the nurse who has actually used this solution. So accountability lies with whom, that is important. Safety. So going forward, we will see this kind of development in our country also, which is already there in Western world. So there will be robots deployed in the hospitals who will take care of patients. So when this kind of human AI augmentation comes, then safety is an important parameter. Okay, it should not do any harm to the patients. Then reliability of the AI based applications. It should be the output in case of AI and ML based applications, and especially in healthcare domain, the accuracy must be 100%. That means the reliability of the results should be 100%. Okay, we can't even compromise 0.5% as far as accuracy and reliability is concerned. And inclusivity. So inclusivity basically refers to the phenomenon in which some application, technological advancement in the technology field, or AI, in this context AI and ML based applications, whatever the country is developing, should be equally accessible to everybody, to every citizen in the country, right? In the context of now moving to the VRIO framework, it will help us to assess the resources. So the first one is value. AI processes providing equal care across demographic, enhance reputation and patient trust. So this is the value that it will add to the healthcare sector or the medtech company which builds this kind of a equipment. Okay, it will enhance the reputation of the company, and also it will impact the it will improve the trust factor in the patient community. Hence it will help us achieve this ethical AI principles like fairness, transparency, and non-discrimination. Second one is rarity. Ethical AI tools built to comply with stringent healthcare regulations are unique. So when the equipment is developed, when the algorithm is developed, in the algorithm itself, we are trying to make this healthcare regulations. We are trying to embed these healthcare regulations into the algorithm itself. So these kind of applications are really rare, and it will adhere to the principles of privacy and inclusivity. Then the next one is inimitability. So compliance and ethical protocols embedded in data sets and algorithms are hard to replicate. The healthcare data itself is hard to replicate because of the privacy concerns, and also if we are very particular about embedding the ethical practices and compliances into these applications, then it is further hard to copy this kind of things. This will lead to safety and accountability of the organization that is designing and using this kind of products. Then organization systems should be organized so that audit is possible, bias elimination is there, and they adhere to all regulatory compliances. It will lead to transparency, compliance, and reliability. Now, what are the challenges and risks involved in adopting AI in the medtech industry? Again, we had actually not thought about this particular part, but our review, both the reviewers had given us comments to focus on this, and hence so we again explored, and I'm putting this here also. So the challenges and risk, data for medical AI system come from multiple sources, which is both structured as well as unstructured in nature. Say, for example, we'll have handwritten prescriptions, we'll have EMR data, we'll have X-rays, MRI, image MRI and lab reports, and so on. So many different types of data are there. So both structured and unstructured data, and hence integrating and handling this variety of data becomes a challenge. The next one is the data can yield biased outcome if it does not represent the entire population. Okay, so this is in fact a challenge in any AI based application, So, but in healthcare, before deploying the application itself, this challenge needs to be tackled. It is not like, some entertainment entertainment industry, we are deploying an application where if 90% accuracy is also there, it is useful and we keep on enhancing it. In this case, that will not work. So we have to be very sure about the biasness of the data. It should not have any bias. Then lack of proper documentation on the working of AI models can lead to confusion and distrust for healthcare professional and institutions. So if proper documentation or codified knowledge is not there, then doctors may not like it, right? Or doctors, of course, it will augment the doctors, and as far as the time investment is concerned, they will be able to, check. They will be able to take care of many patients in a limited period of time, but they would like to go through what is happening in this behind the scene. So proper documentation is important and may be a challenge if it is not there. The scalability and reliability of the AI system can be an issue if load testing and system testing have not been performed correctly. So these things need to be taken care of. So the AI system, for how many patients it can basically work in a given period of time, we need to test that before the deployment itself. And system testing, so after every component is built, we need to integrate all these things, and finally the entire system also need to be tested as a whole. Then augmentation of AI should not lead to job loss in the hospital sector, because whatever AI applications is coming to any industry, irrespective of industry, it is automating a lot of things, and automation means job loss. So we should also be thinking about job creation in this context. So say, for example, we deploy a robot for patient care, then we can't just leave the robot with the patient. So also people should be there behind the scenes. So how we can achieve this, that should be the goal of the industry, and it should be augmentation, it should not be replacement. Then if regulatory compliance is not satisfied, it will harm the company's reputation. So now I will move to the conclusion and future work. So this is basically a theoretical work, and when we started this work, first we thought of exploring the resources and capabilities the organizations, the industry has to bring in AI based technology, okay, to picture. That is why we use this theory, this management theory, RBV, and this instrument BRIO, and analyzed how organizational resources can be used. At that point also, we had thought that going forward, we will extend this work. After understanding this, we can approach the healthcare professional, maybe doctors and nurses, and we will try to collect some data. So currently this work is qualitative in nature. Later, when we do a survey and collect data, then based on that data set, we can apply some quantitative techniques for future research. So going forward, we will be able to do some clustering and classification in the data set. So this is all about our work. Thank you. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Yes, ma'am, it's a good presentation. Uh, I have one question that you have applied the RVG framework to analyze the
RBV.
RVV framework to analyze AI in medtech, right? So,
Hmm.
could you elaborate on any unique challenges you discovered in integrating AI within RVV framework?
Yes, so earlier I discussed about these challenges when we talk about AI and ML based solution in medtech. Okay, in the context of RVV only we have explored this. So data for medical AI system, right? It is coming from multiple sources. So how do we integrate? Finally, this integration also has to be done by people only, right? Somebody has to be engaged in this. So that becomes a
Yes,
challenge
ma'am.
for the person who does this work, right? So then biasness. If we don't collect the data properly, if the sample size is suppose very small, okay, and we don't take care of the entire population, then this data will have some biases. Okay, we may leave some, maybe, so for India, in the context of India, collecting data for a AI based solution is very, very challenging. Okay, we have so many states, and our population is very high. So how do we basically, decide on the sample size? That is a very, very challenging thing. Then lack of proper documentation. So fine, the programmer or the developer will understand how that person has built the model, but doctors will not take a model and deploy it in the hospital if they don't understand the working behind it. So in this context, first of all, black box models or AI black box models are ruled out. Only explainable AI models will work. And now again, explainable AI model, how input to output, the entire process needs to be explained properly. Then I talked about scalability and reliability issue, and if testing has not been performed properly, how that will lead to unwanted, undesired result. And augmentation of only AI augmentation should happen. It should not replace the jobs of people in the industry. And it is very important that in this particular segment, regulatory compliances need to be satisfied. Otherwise, it will lead to the damage to the reputation of the company, and also legal processes may be there. Maybe the company will be fined with a lot of money. Maybe so these kind of things may happen. So these are the challenges basically in the context of RBP.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, in your work, you have highlighted the importance of roles like data scientist and healthcare
Hmm.
analysis. So,
Hmm.
how do these roles contribute
Sir,
to
I
this?
can't hear you properly.
Ma'am, how do you these roles contribute to the successful deployment and use of AI in medtech?
Yes, so medtech industry is the industry which basically build health technology based healthcare equipments, isn't it? So as you mentioned that I have I have actually incorporated this information in my paper as well as in the slide. What is the role? So data scientist, okay, what will they do first? They will look at the data. They will be involved in data cleaning, okay, training the AI model. So how many iterations they will do? These all things will be decided by the data scientist team. Okay, model training, model testing, etc. One example only I have given here. Then I have talked about AI developers and programmers. So algorithms also, right? So suppose let us assume that they are writing, they have written an algorithm in the form of if else, but then all conditions need to be put there. If some of the conditions are left, then the algorithm also has some bias. So in the context of AI, only data should not be bias free. Data is bias free or not, that will be taken care of by the data scientist team, but the AI developer has to take care of the fact that the algorithm is also bias free. Okay, so that is how they will play their role. Then UI designer, the user interface has to be very, very user friendly. Otherwise it is very difficult. In the context of India, let us take the example. For developed country like America, it is very easy. Okay, they can deploy it. People are highly educated. But in the context of India, our people still need a little bit of hand holding. So in that context, if the UI is user friendly, then it will yield better results. Okay. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much for the opportunity. So my co-author, Dr. Manashwini, is also present here. So I thank her also for writing this article or the chapter with me. And with this, we conclude this. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So moving forward, next article is ISGAI 003, Implementation of Generative AI, Measuring Marketing Activities for Enhanced Customer Experience. The author is Professor Manjeera Roy. Madam, could you please wait? I'm making you co-author.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam, you can just give your brief introduction, and post that you can start showing your slides.
Thank you so much. First and foremost, I would like to thank IIMT for giving me this opportunity to present my topic and put it across as a book chapter. First and foremost, I would just start by presenting myself. I am Monjira Roy, and basically I've done my graduation in physics from Pune University and my PGD from St. Xavier's Mumbai in XIC. I've done my MBA from IBS Gurgaon, and right now I am a PhD scholar in Fakir Mohan University, Balasore. I have had an industry experience of around 5 years, which comprises of various media houses in Mumbai as well as in Tata's, where I worked in the telecom sector, that is Tata Teleservices Limited. I have entered the academia field in 2019, and since then I have worked in JIS University, Kolkata, and MACOUT, that is Maulana Abdul Kalam University of Technology, Kolkata. And after I shifted into Orissa, I worked it with Great Lakes University uh, of Management, Gurgaon, where I was deputed as a virtual faculty member. So thereon, currently right now I'm working in IPSAR Cuttack, and here I am the management faculty. So I've attended a few workshops, and I have been a panelist in webinars on entrepreneurship, marketing, and supply chain management, which was conducted by MACOUT Kolkata. I have conducted myself employee communication skill development training program for a organization called Pinnacle Infotech Solutions, which is located in Durgapur, West Bengal, and I have attended various industry related seminars which were conducted by TTSL during my work tenure. So, so let me start by presenting my slides. So the topic that I am about to discuss is the topic. I am the author of the topic, Manjira Roy, and the topic is implementation of generative AI, the measuring marketing activities for enhanced customer services experience. So first and foremost, let us imagine a world which is a competitive world, which is totally dependent on time and effort. So here, if we talk about a fairy tale, where we can say that is a mirror on the wall, that actually generates various types of specific informations required by you in a minimalistic of effort, and which also values your time. So otherwise, in other words, we can say we'll enter the world of generative AI that creates predictive outputs for data analysis, gives real-time personalization of images, and analyzes consumer trend patterns and generates tailor-made contents. It has been substantially seen that the impact generated from the use of generative AI in the field of sales and marketing has the greatest potential. How so? In according to 2024 McKinsey report, marketing is projected to be the most affected function by generative AI, which is forecast to enhance marketing productivity by up to 15% of the total marketing expenditure, which amounts to approximately rupees 38.43 trillion annually. In this study, I have tried to explore the objectives that I have taken up is how marketers can use generative AI to build up marketing campaigns that help enhance customer experience. Also on how the efficiency level of using generative AI in these marketing activities can be effectively measured. and how marketers can effectively harness these tools to create marketing activities that lead to better customer experience, and to add on to it, understanding the various metrics used to measure customer experience and how these metrics could be further used to study the significant impact of generative AI on customer experience, thus generating sustainable growth for the company. So first and foremost, let us understand what is generative AI. Generative AI, as we on this platform that we understand, is an extension of machine learning that uses neural patterns to generate new contents. There are various tools of generative AI that helps organization speed up their functional activities. There are organizations like DeepMind, OpenAI, Google, Meta, which are which have expanded the generative AI application tools. Now let us understand the next topic of discussion. What is customer experience? Like for like we know in business, everything is centered according to the around the customers, and their satisfaction and loyalty are directly linked to the quality of experience they get back. They're dependent on their perceptions, emotions, and opinions that a customer has during all the exchange they have with the company or brand throughout their life cycle. So it is how the brand basically translates itself into various innovative involvement throughout its various touch points that translates into tangible value for the customer, and this finally is called customer experience. So the methodology I've used in this particular review paper is that on basis of pertinent questions I've asked and the answers that I've provided, and the and also based on certain primary based on secondary research and snippets of information which were provided by various industry experts. Moving down to the questions and answers, if we address the first question, how can marketing professionals leverage on the power of generative AI? So this part focuses on analyzing the various functions of generative marketing that has been enhanced by generative AI, and what are the tools of generative AI that are used by marketers to bring forth better customer experience. For example, in advertisement and media area of marketing, what are the generative tools that are used? They are Jasper, Copy AI, DALL-E, Gvox, Ad Creative, etc. What are the benefits we are getting in the marketing activities? In creating highly engaging ads, tailor-made personal ads, for predicting the behavior for the targeted audience, and how it can be utilized across the various marketing organizations. In ad tech companies, we can use generative AI to create different banner ad designs tailored for specific audience segments, such as location-based offers or industry-specific promotions, optimizing creatives for maximum engagement. In market research area of marketing, how can this generative AI, what are the generative AI tools that are used? Are Market News, Crimson, Hexen, SurveyMonkey, Genius. So the benefits that we are getting out of these marketing activities for analyzing competitors' behavior, analyzing upcoming trends and sentiments of the customers, to also to understand the enriched survey questions and predict their responsive quality. So how is it utilized across marketing organization? The company can analyze the various sentiments attached to the social media interactions of an ad campaign and use AI to address its messaging strategy. In brand management part of marketing also, the generative AI tools that are used are BrandWatch, Loca, and Clarify. And benefits that we get from these marketing activities are: examines brand sentiments throughout the platform, creates logos and brand designs effectively, and secures consistent brand representation throughout the digital media. How can it be utilized across marketing organizations? There are companies like Amazon and Netflix which use AI-driven recommendation systems that suggest products and contents based on user preference, establishing a more personalized brand experience. In the digital marketing part of business, what are the generative AI tools that are used are Lensa, Albert AI, and WordStreams. And the benefits that are drawn from these marketing activities are computerized digital marketing campaigns which respect to improved budget allocation of ads and targeting across channels. Also to enhance Google Ads and other digital campaigns by certain data analysis. How it is used across the marketing organization? Various digital marketing agencies create hundreds of variations of ad in seconds, allowing rapid A/B testing, leading to optimization of ads for maximizing click-through rate and conversion. How is it used in customer relationship management? The generative AI tools that are used are Salesforce, Einstein, HubSpot, Zoho, CRM. And what are the benefits in marketing activities? Analyzing lead score, prediction, and recommendation by customers, computerized customer segmentation, specific outreach that recommends follow-up actions, CRM embedded for analyzing lead score and sentiments and predicting sales. So how can it be used across marketing organization? In the telecom companies, integrated AI chatbots that is implemented into the CRM systems to producing 24/7 customer service support and improving customer engagement and reducing operational cost. In sales area of management, what are the generative AI tools that are used are Outreach.oi, Drift, and Going.io. What are the benefits in marketing activities? They are used for constructive emails and personalized follow-ups. Scripts and conversation guides for sales representatives are also produced in a structured way. They are used for studying conversations, emails that come up with a probability score for lead conversions. So how it is used across marketing organization? E-commerce platforms like Amazon use AI to dynamically adjust the prices, generate personalized discount offers pertaining to customer behavior and purchasing history. So the next question that we continue with is, how are generative AI tools used in an effective manner over traditional marketing tools? The traditional marketing designs often revolves around using significant amount of manual effort in computerization, creating and installing campaigns which can be both time consuming as well as exhaustive. Generative AI uses automation and advanced algorithms that streamline these purposes. Understanding the right effectiveness of generative AI tools in generating customer value propositions involves evaluating how these tools amplify a company's capacity to deliver unique, relevant, and compelling offerings to customers. So what are the effective ways of using generative AI models that can be recognized as valuable tools for the business? So first and foremost, the seamless customer service. Generative AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants contribute to 24/7 customer supports, answering queries instantly and accurately. This constant availability and quick response time increases the overall customer experience by confirming that help is always at hand. Personalized user experience. AI algorithm examines individual customer data to tailor-make use experiences on websites and apps by means of personalizing these contents, recommendations, and offers to individual preferences. AI tools like Adobe Sensei and Salesforce Einstein ensure that customers feel exceptionally understood and valued. Next is improved engagement rates. Customization. Marketing messages crafted by AI are more likely to be opened and acted upon. For example, AI-enhanced email campaigns have demonstrated higher open rates and engagement, directly contributing to increased sales conversion. Next, increased conversion rates. Personalized experience increase the chance of conversion rates. AI's ability to customize recommendations and promotions to individual references means that customers are more likely to make purchases that feel specifically crafted for them, as witnessed by improvements in conversion metrics across various industries. Streamlined shopping process. AI creates simple solutions for shopping by predicting what products customers might want by enabling either search and or discovery. Tools like Amazon recommendation engine represents how AI can streamline the shopping experience, increasing customer satisfaction and loyalty. Effectiveness of generative AI also is based on the selection and analysis of appropriate key performance indicators, that is known as the KPIs, that express the values created in terms of customer experience. The next question that we move on to are, what are the various metrics used in customer experience to measure the effectiveness of generative of the marketing strategies? There are various qualitative metrics that give numeric data to evaluate the effectiveness. Some of them are NPS, that is the Net Promoter Score. This metrics is used to deal with measurements of customer recommending a brand to someone else and also to analyze customer loyalty. A positive NPS scores suggests that the customer has a stronger association with the brand, which in turn shows a good customer relationship. When there is a high value generated from NPS, it gives strong evidence that the specific framework makes use of generative AI, which achieves tangible benefits for both customers as well as the organization. Next is the CSAT metrics, that is the customer satisfaction score. This matrix is used for measuring customer satisfaction in relation with a product, service, or interaction on a scale like our scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, which with higher scores recommending greater satisfaction, thus resulting in a positive customer experience. Another matrix that is usually used is customer effort metrics, that is a customer effort score. It is used in measuring how much effort a customer has to put into while using a company's product or service along with the attempts used to resolve an issue, like for example using it for informations that they require and getting a issue resolved. So various qualitative insights are also used, like customer feedback surveys, focus groups, and ethnographic research, which offer deeper, more nuanced instances into the customer experience journey. By combining these qualitative metrics and the quantitative metrics, organizations can gain an overall view of the performance of the customer's experience, which drives the continuous improvements. Also, these predictive results provide relevant confirmation that dynamic content generation using generative AI effectively increases the overall customer experience. The next question that we move on to is how the customer experience measurement metrics help determine the impact of generative AI on these marketing activities. By relevant measurement of CSAT score, companies can derive or decide how well the generative AI tool which are being used in marketing activities, such as for personalized recommendation or automated customer service, meet the customer needs and expectations. Thus, CSAT is a useful measurement tool for companies to judge the level of customer satisfaction as well as customer recognition areas for improvement. By calculating the customer satisfaction and recognize areas for improvement, by calculating, organizations can make improved plans to address customers' concern and upgrade the quality of their products or the services. Next, by using NPS score before and after executing generative AI in marketing strategies, business can evaluate how these initiatives influence customer perception and preference. With this score, it can be identified that these, just a second, somebody would want to enter. With this score, it can be identified that these particular have a satisfactory experience but are not necessarily excited or engaged with the company, product, or service. Thus, these customers have an unbiased attitude and are less likely to share positive or negative feedback. By observing this CESC score, it can help organization understand the productivity of AI in enhancing customer experience and ease of access. Generative AI are streamlined processes. They use like chatbots or for customer service and reduce the resistance. And CES score is a metric used to measure the extent to which customers must make efforts to interact with a company, product, or service. It is based on the idea that lower customer efforts in their interactions with a company can lead to greater satisfaction as well as loyalty. So we can also measure it with certain analysis called sentiments analysis, which is used for customer feedback generation to understand how generative AI affects customer perception. These measurements of customer emotions are used, and positive sentiments around AI marketing campaigns indicate successful engagement strategies. Gathering qualitative insights in terms of direct feedback from users, like user experience feedback regarding their experience with AI-powered tools like chatbots, recommendation systems, or personalized contents can provide qualitative insights into what aspects of work would do well and what areas need to be improved. Lower customer satisfaction scores may indicate poor user experience, while high customer satisfaction scores may indicate poor usage. High customer satisfaction scores indicate good user experience. Another So another measurement tool is A/B testing of different AI generated marketing messages or customer interactions, which can provide data on which approach resonates well with the customers, informing future AI driven strategies. The next question that we deal with is how the industry growth for marketing activities powered with generative AI can be justified on the basis of these measurement metrics. Measurements such as NPS and CSAT are being used more and more to access the return on investment, that is ROI of the customer experience estimates. When customers are satisfied, they tend to repeat purchase and carry positive word of mouth, which directly impacts the ROI of the firm. Customer experience also takes into account employee involvement. Excellent customer service is more sustainable provided by contented staff members, which enhance customer experience and in turn gives a good ROI figure. Generative AI has potential to drastically improve customer experience in every business. The challenge is to know how and where to use them in the actions. For example, these effects like Pareto analysis and theory of constraints are both valuable methods for identifying opportunities to deploy AI to enhance customer experience. What is Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 principle, states that 80% of the results come from 20% of the actions. Pareto and principles is used for identifying the few most impactful actions or factors that drive the results. They can guide businesses to discover where to maximize customer experience improvement and where AI deployment can be most valuable for the organization. And the theory of constraint is a methodology that stresses on identifying and addressing what are the primary constraints and what are the bottlenecks that limit the overall system performance and output of the process. Business process reengineering, that is BPR, based TOC analysis, that is theory of constraints analysis, can improve process remarkably. BPR is used to reduce bottlenecks and constraints to improve systems and processes. The gains for this is remarkable. Pareto and TOC have been applied to general business problems, including cost reductions, revenue generation, capacity expansion, and quality improvement. Pareto and TOC have been applied to general business problems, including cost reductions, revenue generation, capacity expansion, and quality improvement. Now we move on to what are the challenges that is implemented in AI. One of the challenges are exploitations for fake uses. There have been instances that generative AI has resulted in constructs that seem highly logical but has forged contents. I'll admit somebody. So that the force can leading to possible misinterpretations, and these can be considered to be quite harmful. So making accountable and ethical usage of generative models required for establishing the guidelines, directive, and safeguard standards which can be provided to developers, and accordingly the implementation of AI can be processed. Another concern that arises with the usage of generative AI is prejudiced privacy transgression. AI systems can increase the biasness while considering data which is not properly examined and therefore selected haphazardly. Privacy violations are also pressing issues which arise when the data collected is not filtered in a proper way, leading to unfair manner and thus raising ethical concerns. This is a very necessity, thus it is also very necessary that strict data governance policies are implemented while taking down the data in a constructive manner. Other concerns that might be very implementive to the business strategy and environment impact, which results in increasing energy consumptions of AI model, adding up to ethical challenges. Also, there is a need to technical and vocational education and training in empowering the future workforce through reskilling and upskilling initiative. As businesses increasingly rely on digital and AI technologies, it is important to re-evaluate these educations and training strategies to equip the future workforce for the success in a highly competitive landscape. Researchers, developers, policymakers, and the end users need to work together to implement seamless integration of generative AI that balances innovation as well as maintains the ethical standards. Lastly, with the conclusion, I would like to conclude by saying that it is in recent times, there is a lot of pressure, hype, and expectations around AI. But the important thing that still remains is how well you know the customers and anticipate their future needs for any business entity. To understand the problem at hand, it is important to remain grounded and think in a holistic manner. Change management is one of the key, and whenever in doubt, it is important to touch base with the customers. Taking into account the diversified power of generative AI, it is important to note that implementation of marketing activities need a lot of scrutiny before it can be actually made available to the customers. Various measurement tools make it easy for marketers to gauge the strength of a project. However, the main challenges still remains in the ideation process of the marketing campaign and understanding the extent to which the customers will be actually looped into the marketing activity. Measuring the KPIs gives marketers the knowledge about the effectiveness of the activity after the initial launch. There still lies a lot of research ability in finding out the actual strength of the marketing activities in terms of the measurement capacity of the campaign before it gets launched. Research could also be conducted pertaining to a specific marketing campaign that could help marketers make decisions regarding acceptance and rejections of the project. The success of the right implementation of generative AI in marketing activity will thus depend on measuring its strengths and finally culminates into happy and loyal customers. So with this, I would like to end my presentation and the topic that I've presented. Thank you so much for being a patient listener. Thank you. Now, if there is any question, I would like to take it forward.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, you have discussed several metrics like NPS, CSAT for assessing customer experience. But can you tell me which metric do you find most effective in measuring the impact of generative AI on customer satisfaction?
So it is very important that we understand the importance of all these metrics, and in an individual level, each and every metrics is important. But in my personal view, it is CSAT metrics, which gives the customer satisfaction score, and it is calculated to calculate the particular metrics. We take the percentage of the satisfied customers and divide with the total number of customers who are very satisfied, and we measure it in the Likert scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, and then multiply that result by 100 to get your customer satisfaction percentage. To understand the satisfaction percentage, it is very important for an organization to uh, understand if the project or if the marketing campaign has been effective or not, to take it forward in the future, to launch it and take it forward.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am, I have one more question. I have one more question that what are the main challenges you have determined from the marketers in face of integrating generative AI?
One of the main challenges that the marketers I have derived directly from the marketers is implementation of the right skill methods for employing the customers, for giving them perspective as to how they should upscale and reskill themselves to implement all these generative AI technologies, because the problem is the biasness, all the fake implementation, everything is associated with proper training of the employees. So if the employees are trained in a effective manner, then all these factors of biasness, of ethical factors, of data encryption, all these can be scalability of data, all these can be largely minimized.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being a patient listener.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for presenting. So our next presenter is ISGAI 005, a study on the role of artificial intelligence in digital marketing and its influence on customer buying behavior. Authors are Ashley A.S., Rency Joseph, Neeta Francis, and Dr. Tia Matthews. So I think Ashley is there and she will be presenting. Ashley, you can present.
Hello.
Yes, Ashley.
Ah,
I have made you co-host. You can. Just start by giving a brief introduction about you and your co-authors.
okay. My name is Ashley S. I'm an MCOM student of St. Albert's College, Autonomous. And my co-authors are Rency Joseph, Assistant Professor, St. Albert's College, and Neeta Francis, Assistant Professor, St. Albert's College, and Dr. Tia Matthews, Assistant Professor, St. Albert's College. So let me share the screen. Can you see it?
No, it's not visible. I think there is some technical error. That's why she's not joining. We should wait for another 5 minutes.
IT.
Ashley, do you have any issues with your network or anything?
Ma'am, I'm not able to present the screen. When
I
I'm
have
trying,
made
it's
you
also-
co-host. You can try once again. I have made you co-host. You try.
Okay.
I think our next presenter has also joined, so we can proceed with that. In the meanwhile, Ashley, you can resolve the issue, and then you may present. Okay.
Okay.
So Ishita, you can unmute your mic, and I'll be making your co-host, and you can start. Ishita. Ishita, you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, just start with a brief introduction of yours and your co-authors,
Okay.
and then you may proceed. Okay. Her paper ID is ISGAI 008. Cutting edge hybrid models for credit card fraud detection, integrating GRFD-KNN, temporal analysis, and LSTM networks. Ishita, you may proceed.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
No, not yet.
No. Was it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You may proceed. Just make it full screen and then proceed.
Sure. So, I hope my screen is now visible completely.
Hello. Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, my screen is visible, right? Completely.
Yes, it is visible completely. You just make it full screen and you can proceed.
Okay.
Enter full screen.
Yes.
Yes. Now you can start with your introduction, your authors, and then the people.
Okay. Okay, so good morning, everyone. So I am Ishita Chaudhary, and I am working as I'm a working professional, and I'm working as a data analyst at a leading real estate company. Along with me, I'm the main presenter over here, and along with me, my co-authors are Himanshi Kapoor, who is also one of the software engineers at one of the startups, and we have our mentor as Eva Kaushik, who is a data scientist at DXC Technologies. So our paper is about credit card fraud detection. why we chose this topic is because since we are working in a professional environment, and especially in the fintech space, so we understand that there are more cases of credit card fraud detection that have been on a rise. So taking that motivation, though there have been multiple works that have been done, but we ought to present a somewhat new technology that can be helpful in analyzing the real-time data for the fraud detection. Coming over to the index and the contents that I would be presenting is the abstract, introduction, current challenges, data analysis, methodology, results, and conclusions. Starting off with the abstract, just an overview of what the paper, as I said, tells. It's the credit card fraud detection method. We have used both machine learning and deep learning techniques. So with as I said, with the use of credit cards and digital transactions, so frauds have become a major concern both for the consumers and financial institutions. So as an institution, we have to face a lot of legal processes if in case there is a fraud. So in this study, we would like to propose a robust approach to detect the fraudulent transactions and combining ML and DL methods to improve fraud detection accuracy. So just coming on to the data that we have. So the frequency of the credit card fraud detection have increased over the last few decades. So as mentioned over here, that the current, since we also have now UPI, credit card, debit card, so the spike in the fraud rates have been increased to about $0.06% globally on the $100 that was spent. In India, in the financial year of 24. So there has been, like, according to RBI data, there has been 166% of increase in the total fraud reporting system. So this shows the urgency that why we need more effective fraud detection systems, even though we have been using many baseline models like KNN, random forest, etc. So why the credit card fraud detection is challenging here is that the existing methods that we have, so fraudsters also evolve over time. They often mimic the normal transaction behavior. So that is why the current methods we have, they get prone to error. So we need dynamic models that can also understand the fraudsters' behavior real time and can adapt themselves. It shouldn't be us always sitting on the top of it and finding and changing the model. So traditional methods like we had data encryption and tokenization, they provide us some level of protection, but they are insufficient to completely prevent fraud. So that is why AI and machine learning, especially deep learning techniques, are becoming more indispensable partners. Coming on to the data analysis and the pre-processing, the major data set that we used was of the European cardholders. We also used some other data of the Asian cardholders as well. So in both of the data sets, our model performed well, around 99% of accuracy we got. So the initial model that we use of the European cardholder transaction, it had 30 numerical features, and because of the ethical and data privacy issues, all the 30 columns we kept anomalized. So there was 0.172% of the transactions that were fraud, and highlighting that the data set was a lot skewed. So the fraud transactions were less and the non-fraud transactions obviously were more. So this was one of the major challenges that was there, that this fraud data set is a lot imbalanced. So to overcome that, we use some pre-processing steps. So first was Z normalization. So Z normalization was just to standardize our data set completely, and we can minimize the outliers and make the entire data set on a comparable scale that we can use. Next was majorly to handle the class imbalance, we use the synthetic minority oversampling technique. And this helped us to generate some synthetic data for the fraud transaction as well. We can do it either way. Also, you can decrease the majority class or increase the minority class as well. But in our case, we generated synthetic samples of the minority class, which in our case was the fraud transaction, making our data set more balanced. Coming. So, coming on to the exact methodology and the workflow that we followed. So feature engineering. So most of the models, if you would see, and based on our related works that we and the literature review that we did, genetic algorithms were greatly used. We tried a new approach here of the GRFO, which is the Gara-Rofa fish optimization techniques, and this help to reduce help to give better precision and recall in case of as we compare it to genetic algorithms. Both handled the dimensionality well, but our precision increased in GRF. So first, next we went on to the train test bed. As a normal sitting on data, we had 80% of the training data and 20% of the data that was used for the test data. So data, first process we did was the extraction of data from the data extraction. We pre-process the data using the Z normalization and SMOTE model training. So we use majorly two models here. So in other baseline models, if you would see, they generally use one model. So here we try to combine two models together to make an extended approach. So first model that we used was the GRFO KNN method, which helped to improve the take into consideration the dimensionality and improve the accuracy by 15% rather than simply using KNN model here. Next, we used an autoencoder and LSTM networks. Now, these help to capture time-dependent pattern as well. Now, when we were able to capture time-dependent patterns, this will help to analyze the real-time data in a more effective way over here. And this will help this improve like data around 20%. Coming on to the result analysis, just showing in a tabular structure. So our total transaction, the test data set, we had around 57,000 of the test data, and the fraud data was in 98%, and non-fraud transactions account to be 56,800. So these are the different evaluation metrics that were that we got from our methodology. Also, we conducted some statistical tests as well. The main reason for conducting these tests was because of the fact that we did not wanted that, since we had just good accuracy numbers, that a model is better, but we majorly wanted to define that the improvement that they were meaningful. They instead reflects the true improvements in the model ability to detect fraud detection. So there were two tests that we did. First was the t-test. Why t-test? So t-test can be used to compare the precision and recall against the baseline model. So this was ideal because it helped to assess the differences in the performance metric between the models. In this case, the p-value that we get from the t-test, it tells us if the observed differences in the performance metrics are likely to be occurred by chance or not. So our model showed better precision and recall in this case as compared to baseline models. So as you can see, there were three baseline models that we use here, but majorly we used logistic regression and the KNN, which are majorly used for categorization. So we use majorly these two to detect. Random forest can also be one of our baseline models. Next, we use ANOVA. ANOVA model was because of it helps to evaluate the F1 score. So which is, so this tests the null hypothesis that we have, in that means the several groups are equal. So if the F static here, if F static is large enough, then we can reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there are significant differences between these two groups. So in our case, the test that we performed, it confirmed that F1 score of our model was significantly better than those of the baseline models, and this helped in indicating the substantial improvement. Coming on to the last part of the conclusion. So as I said, our model showed the accuracy of 99.93%. And from we also understand that there was some ethical standpoint as well. We wanted to assure that a model had minimize the bias and it adhere to the data privacy standards as well. So we address the class imbalance using the SMOT method. And the future, we plan to implement the bias detection techniques further to enhance fairness in the detection. And by addressing the feature selection with a better outperforming model, we will able to leverage the advanced machine learning and deep learning techniques and make a model that offers a robust and a scalable solution. Yes, that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, it was nicely presented, Ishita. So you have taken that GRF, FD, KNN, right?
So
Ishita, you there?
Ishita,
hello.
yeah, Ishita, could you hear me?
Yes, I can, but it's a bit muffled. I'm getting a bit muffled voice.
Okay, okay, now
Yeah.
clear. Okay, my question is that you have integrated GRFD and KNN and
Yes.
temporal analysis and LSTM network. But
Yes.
could you elaborate on why these specific methods were chosen and how they complement each other in fraud detection?
Okay. So firstly, so since these are the two models that we used and they were combined to make a new extension model. Uh, so other baseline models, if you would see like KNN and random forest, they are widely used because of their simplicity and strong performance, but they are not able to mimic the real-time data sets and the new methods that the fraudsters can accommodate themselves to. So, firstly, GRFO was a feature selection technique that we used, which adapts to dynamic patterns and handles the imbalanced data set better than the genetic algorithm. Though it is agreed that genetic algorithm can handle dimensionality as well, but the dynamic patterns and the imbalanced data set can be more uh, accurately be handled by GRF. So this was one of the main reasons why we took this specific model, and you would not find major research around it. So we started just with the initial steps of introducing this, if GRFO could provide us better accuracy. And when we performed statistical tests around it, we were able to analyze that what we are seeing is a substantially accurate results by using GRFO. Coming on to LSTM, why we use that is so that we can detect the time dependent patterns better, which is critical in fraud detection, as fraudsters often mimic the typical customer behavior over time. And if we see it in the practical space, as an organization, you don't want to go on spending like several versions of your model. You want your model to be dynamic enough so that it can improve over time. So LSTM would help you rather than we as analysts or data scientists like sitting over and making the model robust every time. We want the model itself to be an expert system on its own and understand from the fraudster pattern as well that how are they coming into the system. And like to wrap up in this nutshell, it's that GRFO KNN showed us 15% improvement if we use rather single KNN method. So combining GRFO and KNN. So we didn't simply scraped out KNN, K nearest neighbor method. We added it to our method and that showed 15% improvement as compared to the standard KNN. So that is what demonstrated the real world advantage of our approach in spotting the fraudulent transaction.
Okay, Sita. So my next question is that you used GRFO method and perform GA for future selection, correct?
Yes.
So could you explain why GRFO was particularly suited to this dataset and how it is impacted the model's performance?
Okay. So we did some of the research from our side and read a few research papers. So based on that, we saw in most of the papers that genetic algorithm was being used majorly to detect for the feature selection especially. So why genetic algorithm again was used there because of the dimensionality aspect. So GRFO was considerably a new method that we saw, and this and when we did feature selection using the GRFO method, uh, we were able to see that the precision came around 0.92, and while for the GA method and for GRFO it increased though a little, but substantial increase was there when we saw it around 0.94. So specifically, GRFO then demonstrated that it had a higher capability in handling the dynamic patterns. So it just moved one step ahead of the traditional GA methods that we used. So it was more effective and adaptable feature in selection process. So that is why it will lead to like significant improvement in the detection accuracy. That was the main reason that we so our major basis of choosing this model was because we did extensive research on practical applications of different models, and we found that GRFO has not been used. It's a coming technology that the coming model that is not being used in our traditional system that we have majorly in the practical space. So we just wanted to introduce that and see if that can give like a good fight to the GA, the traditional GA models that we have, and it showed a substantial improvement. As I said, the precision increased to 0.93. So it reflected that dynamic patterns could be held with a better uh, capability here with GRFO.
Okay, Ishita. My one more question is that you used SMOT for handling data imbalance, right?
Yes, yes.
So, what challenges did you encounter with this technique, and are these scenarios where it may not be effective?
Okay. Uh, so SMOTE is basically we use since the fraud data set, if any data set that that you would see is highly imbalanced and skewed. So there were multiple there was a large number of non-fraud transaction and lesser percentage of the fraudulent transactions. So in order to make that equal, make them comparable, we use SMOT and we increase the minority class in our case to make them comparable. So there might be few scenarios. So SMOT was majorly effective in our case to handle the data set. So it actually identifies the samples that are close enough within our feature space and then draws like a boundary and a line between them, just as we have the classifiers, and generates a new minority class based around that boundary line. So this is how it actually works. Uh, but there might be few cases where this might not work is when you're since here we have just two categories, like it would be fraud or not fraud. But when the clusters and your categories are highly complex and diverse, there is one case that SMOT might not work well. So
Okay.
this is what I can think of right now, that is one of the drawbacks that we saw that SMOT had. But why? But then also we went ahead with it because we just had to do a binary classification here. We didn't had a diverse data set, diverse categories over here. So that's why.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ishita. Now next, Ashley, are you ready?
Thank you so much for your time. Okay.
Hello.
Ashley, are you ready with your presentation?
Yes, ma'am. Can I share the screen?
Yeah, wait. I'm making you co-host, then you can start. So Ashley, you just give your brief introduction and your co-author's introduction, and then you can start.
Okay. Ma'am, is the screen is visible now?
No, Ashley, no.
Ma'am, can I send the PPT to you and could you please share it for me?
Okay, you
I'm
just
not
do
able.
one thing. Start first, you open your PPT on your system. You just
Huh.
minimize it and then use the share button. Then you can, then you will be able to share. You first open the PPT on your system.
I'm using some phone, Android.
Oh, you are using through your phone. That's the issue actually. Suprab sir, can we do that? Like she will be sharing the PPT with me and I will be sharing it there and she will be presenting that.
Yes, ma'am. You can, ma'am.
We can?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. Okay, Ashley, just share me over mail.
Oh, okay. Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, wait. I have received. I've received. I'll be sharing. Wait. Is it visible? Hello?
Hello.
Is it visible now?
Mail is visible.
Suprab sir, is it visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay, now you can start.
Okay. My name is Ashley. I'm an income student of St. Albert's College, Autonomous, and my co-authors are Princy Joseph, Assistant Professor, St. Albert's College, Ernakulam, and Geeta Francis, Assistant Professor, St. Albert's College, Autonomous, and Dr. Tia Matthews, St. Albert's College, Autonomous. So let's move on to the introduction part. Ma'am, can you? So basically the title of the study is a study on the role of artificial intelligence in digital marketing and its influence on customer buying behavior. When it comes to the introduction part, nowadays artificial intelligence plays a vital role in almost every aspect, even in medical sector, education sectors, and marketing. Artificial intelligence is widely used, and it is presently used as an important tool for enhancing the performance of various sectors. It enables the firm to target the right customers and enhance customer engagement and gather data for more effective strategies. Digital market is the primary application of AI to reach the right audience. In digital marketing, AI helps brands analyze feedback quickly and improve customer experiences. The study tried to determine how the adoption of artificial intelligence in digital marketing has influenced customer buying behavior. And the significance of the study: artificial intelligence in digital marketing plays an imperative role by making effective use of techniques like productive recommendation, image recognition, voice search, chatbot, etc., to improve their performance and to create an extensive customer base by influencing customer behavior and decision making. Hello, ma'am. Next slide.
Yes, I'm sharing.
No, ma'am, significance.
Oh, wait.
The study mainly
Yes, you can proceed.
Okay, ma'am. The study mainly analyzed the drastic impact of artificial intelligence over the significant growth of digital marketing in influencing customer buying behavior and the decision making. The study also provided an insight on how the application of artificial intelligence provide a better experience for both customers and the businesses. In general, the study mainly helps in identifying the effectiveness of implementing artificial intelligence in digital marketing. Next slide. Mainly, secondary data is used for this study, and we have reviewed many literatures, and some of the few literature that we have reviewed in here. First one, CAT3 2021 highlight AI-driven digital marketing is transforming customer behavior by helping marketers better understand and engage target audiences. It also highlights AI's role in personalized marketing and addresses challenges like data privacy and the need for skilled human resources. Next one, Aluma and Levin 2013 found that demographic factors like gender, age, occupation, and income significantly influence customers' buying behavior. And Murke 8 2018 states that AI has brought a fundamental change in making use of customers' behavior. Thereby, marketers can collect large set of data to generate personalized and target campaigns. AI technology like chatbots are transforming the customer engagement and content creation by emphasizing personalized interaction and its ability to enhance creativity. Trabin A. et al. 2022 found that trust is important to enhance overall service experience, while perceived sacrifice can lead to a lack of human connection and privacy. The research contributes the hypothesis for the study. First one, artificial intelligence and digital marketing improve customer buying behavior. And the next hypothesis of the study, there is an association between demographic factors such as gender, annual family income, and customers' buying behavior due to the influence of AI and digital marketing. And the statement of the problem, in order to make the appropriate recommendation to the customer, a digital marketing company must not only know what the customer search for, but also why they are seeking for a product, which is gained through the application of artificial intelligence. At the same time, customer must have a trust in AI-driven marketing. Thus, AI is changing the economy in such a way that will benefit both customers and businesses in the long run. The considerable role of artificial intelligence in the progress of digital marketing is the main focus of the study. So the main objectives of the study to understand how AI and the digital marketing improve customer buying behavior and trust in AI-driven marketing, and also to analyze the influence of AI in digital marketing over customer buying behavior. The methodology used for this study is both descriptive and analytical type of research is used for the study, and both primary data and secondary data were used for the study. Primary data is collected using questionnaires sent to the respondents, and convenient sampling technique is used for the study, and the sample size used is 100. And in order to analyze the data, tools used are statistical package for social science, that is SPSS 25 version, and tables, pie chart, and diagrams were used. In order to test the normality of the data, Shapiro-Wilks test is used, and here the p-value, that is level of significance, is less than 0. So the data is not normal. So we used non-parametric test is used for the study. So data analysis and interpretation. In order to analyze the data, several strategies that affect the customer buying behavior are used, and these strategies were collected from various articles. And first one, be transparent about the AI usage. And second one, protect customer data and comply with law, and encourage customer feedback, educate customers about AI, practice ethical AI use, and prioritize user experience. And from this, it is understood that the top strategy for building trust in AI marketing is data protection and compliance. And 23.39% of the respondents agree that AI marketing, for building trust in AI marketing, data protection compliance is required, and transparency follows at 18.15%, and with feedback, education, and ethics such as 16.53%. The influence of AI in digital marketing over customer buying behavior. So here are the statements. The first statement, chatbots or virtual assistants improve my customer service experience, leading to better purchase decision. And second statement, email campaigns are effective in creating demand for products. And the third one, AI-powered product recommendations are more effective than traditional recommendation. Next one, I feel comfortable sharing personal data with AI system if it improve my shopping experience, and I am more likely to engage with brands that utilize AI in their marketing, and the overall use of AI digital marketing has impacted my buying behavior. And from this, it is understood that out of 83 respondents, 41 agrees and 23 strongly agrees that chatbot enhance customer services and purchase decision, and 46 find email campaigns effective in creating demand, and 43 prefer product recommendations over traditional methods, and however 49 are hesitant about sharing personal data with AI. Overall, 48 believe AI and digital marketing impacted their buying behavior. When we come to the testing of hypothesis, first we tested whether there is an association between gender and buying behavior. And here Fisher's excel test is used, and from this it is understood that the p-value, that is level of significance, is greater than 0.05, and thus it could be inferred that gender has no significant association between customer buying behavior due to the influence of AI in digital marketing. Next slide. And here, and whether we also analyzed whether there is any association between annual family income and customer buying behavior. And from this, it is also understood that there is no association between annual family income and customer buying behavior due to the influence of AI in digital marketing. Next slide. And the major findings of the study is that AI in digital marketing boost customer buying behavior, and most of the respondents find chatbots, email campaigns, and AI recommendations effective, though some hesitant to share personal data, and many prefer brands that utilize AI in their marketing. And most of the respondents believe protecting data and ensuring compliance are the key to build trust in AI-driven marketing, with transparency also very important. And there is no association between gender and customer buying behavior due to the influence of AI in digital marketing, and there is no association between annual family income and customer purchase decision due to the influence of AI in digital marketing. And the suggestions that are derived from this study: businesses should ensure that marketing efforts effectively target and engage customers across diverse demographic groups, maximizing the impact and reach of AI-driven initiatives. Second one, protecting customer data and ensuring compliance with relevant laws and regulations are identified as crucial strategies for building trust in AI-driven digital marketing. Businesses should ensure more in protecting measures. This include implementing encryption, secure data storage, regular audit to safeguard customer data, and to reduce any risk due to the breach of misuse of data. And finally, the conclusion of the study. The study explored AI's impact on digital marketing and customer buying behavior. It highlights the positive effect of AI tools like chatbots and personalized recommendation, with customers showing significant awareness. Business should prioritize AI applications, transparency, and demographic targeting to build trust and improve customer connection, paving the way for future research. That's all. Thank you.
Uh, it was a nice presentation, ma'am. So, hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. So, your study basically mentioned the role of AI-driven tools like chatbots and personalized recommendation. So, which of these tools has shown the most significant influence on customer buying behavior according to your findings?
Chatbots and email campaigns are found to be most effective, uh, and personalized recommendations through emails help the customers to purchase more products.
Okay. For any demographic differences, did you observe any variations in awareness or buying behavior across different demographic groups, such as age
So,
or income level?
hello. Could you
Uh,
please
uh,
tell me?
yeah, I'm asking that. Did you observe any variations in awareness or buying behavior across different demographic groups?
When it comes to the demographic, like genders, there is no. When it comes to the age, when we take age groups, uh,
Yeah.
uh, young peoples are more aware about the use of AI in digital marketing. But older peoples are not very much aware about the use of AI in digital marketing, and they may not trust the use of AI in digital marketing.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, the participants. So this brings us to the end of the symposium. I would like to show that all the presented and accepted chapters will be published. Will get an opportunity to be published in the Studies in Computational Intelligence book series, which I will be sharing. So this is the book series where all the accepted and presented article will get an opportunity to be published. Now I would like to request Suprab sir to proceed with the concluding remarks. Sir, please.
Yes, ma'am. So, as a session chair, it's my privilege to deliver the concluding remarks for this engaging International Symposium on Social, Ethical, and Legal Aspects of Generative AI. So today we have navigated the profound impacts of generative AI across diverse fields. Means we are examining topics from in AI systems to advancement in medtech, innovation in marketing, and evolving social norms set by artificial superintelligence. These presentations given by the different authors underscored both the immense potential of AI and the ethical responsibilities that accompany its rapid evolution. So, I would like to extend heartfelt gratitude to all our presenters whose insightful contributions have enriched our understanding of AI's transformative capabilities and sparked meaningful discussions on addressing the challenges associated with this advancement. A special thanks also to the organizing team whose dedication and coordination made this symposium a productive and seamless experience for all attendees. So thank you for the uh, organizing team and sir. As we close, let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration and innovation fostered here today. Together, we can work together towards a future where AI serves society with fairness, empathy, and integrity, empowering communities and promoting inclusive progress. Thank you all for your participation, enthusiasm, and commitment to the responsible AI future. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for everyone to joining us. So we now end our session.